Good morning, Facebook. Good morning, YouTube. Good morning, everybody in the world. It is 7:30 on Monday, April 27th. And we got the coffee brewing and getting ready here at the King House. And just want to say good morning to you. Welcome to week 7 of quarantine life. And guys, it's a great day. Great day to be alive. Hope you had a good weekend. There's so many noises happening off camera right now. So, guys, we're going to be in Mark chapter 6 here in just a minute. Good morning from the Marietta Police Department. So great to have you here with me this morning, David Rowland. Guys, not sure what you did this weekend. At our house, there was lots of yard work happening. We even did an outdoor movie night, at least we attempted to this past week. Pulled all the speakers outside and set up a little projector on the garage door. And then out of nowhere, it was like the power of 1,000 winds came and got a little chilly. So we're going to be trying for E.T. This coming week for an outdoor movie night. I'm curious for all of you who are watching, number one, love to hear where you're watching from, but I'm curious what your favorite movie was as a kid. What was a great kid movie for you? David Rowland, you cannot say Rambo. I want a kid movie that you were into. Amy was into The Flight of the Navigator. I loved Goonies as a kid. That was one of my all-time favorites. But I also loved E.T. In fact, I loved it so much I had to be taken out of the movie theater when everyone thought E.T. had died, because I was so devastated by the loss of E.T. Come on, Wizard of Oz. All right. Guys, here's what we're going to do. We are in Mark chapter 6 this morning. The Digital Devotionals are going strong. Week 7. I realize there's a fair amount of fatigue that some of you may have by being in front of screens, maybe even with me, and that's okay. You can watch this another time if you'd like, or we could get right into it today, as I'm going to continue doing, but I realize it's a little tricky going on 7 weeks of being in front of screens, but we're going to get through this. We're going to do it. God's good and He's faithful. Mark 6. This is Jesus. This is a section called A Prophet Without Honor. Mark chapter 6, verse 1. Jesus left there and went to his hometown, accompanied by his disciples. When the Sabbath came, he began to teach in the synagogue, and many who heard him were amazed. Where did this man get these things, they asked. What's this wisdom that has been given him? What are these remarkable miracles he is performing? Isn't this the carpenter? Isn't this Mary's son and the brother of James, Joseph, Judas, and Simon? Aren't his sisters here with us? And they took offense at him. All right. Jesus is walking through his hometown. These are his people, all right? People that would have known him. And what does the last verse tell us? It says that they took offense at him. His ministry game is going strong right now. They don't realize who he is yet, so we're not even going to get into the fact that they didn't recognize that Jesus was the Son of God in this moment. They were simply offended because they knew him, and all of a sudden Jesus is kind of rising in popularity. He's rising in fame, in significance. He's teaching and preaching. Who is this guy? Who does he think he is? And there is this thing that creeps into us, especially as we spend more and more time on things like social media, areas where we can make comparison, places where maybe from a distance or even up close, the people that are beginning to succeed or grow. We fall into these traps of comparison. We fall into the trap of jealousy and cynicism. And here's what I mean by it. even just today, this morning when I got up, right? This is a pastor's group that I'm a part of on Facebook, church communicators and things like that. One of the posts that has like 1 billion comments is how thankful, these church staffs are for technology and what it's afforded churches. And yet, one of them confessed that the underbelly of it is that he spends so much time looking at what all these other churches are doing, and he finds himself discouraged. Now, if I'm being really honest with you, fully transparent, I have to guard my heart from doing the exact same thing, right? Where we begin to compare, we look, or offense kind of just begins to grow in our heart. We make assumptions. Oh, who do they think they are? I mean, come on. Give me a break. What do they think, they're better than us? Oh my gosh, are you serious? They're gonna get out. They're gonna use those lights. They're gonna use that machine. Like they're gonna film a 4K production of Matthew chapter 3. Like, come on. Like, you see what I'm going with this. It's easy to do, and yet we do the same thing with just generally speaking, social media businesses. Right? Walk with me on this. It can be difficult to cheer other people's success on when you don't feel like you're experiencing success. It's hard to cheer someone on when they are experiencing the dream that deep down you have, but yet you haven't fully realized. And yet this is what God has called us to do, with a pure heart, right? With open hands, with a mind and with the joy of the Lord as our strength. We get to cheer other people on. Their success is the kingdom's success. And it's easy to grow cynical, to grow jealous of other people growing and doing great things. This happened in Jesus' hometown. A prophet was without honor in his hometown. It's the people that know you. It's the people that you know that oftentimes it's the hardest to celebrate. People that you love, even though you do love them, sometimes it's easier when they're at the same place you are in life, or they're beneath you in life in terms of success. And God has called us to something deeper and better and greater than that. It's not always easy. You got to fight to have a heart that's in the right place before the Lord. I wrote a few things down. Here's some cynical things that people say. Well, I would do that too if I had as much free time as they did. Right? We undercut it. If my parents gave me that kind of money, if I had that kind of cash, well, I would too. ... We minimize. We cut it out from under them. Who do they think they are? They think they're better than us? Psh, give me a break. What they're doing is great, but it's not that great. I mean, come on. You know what I'm talking about. We've all felt it. And social media is the greatest perpetuator of, also, might I add, an image that isn't accurate. You're seeing a nice little clean camera spot behind me. What you don't know is that every single week there are things I've taken off of this counter and they're laying on the floor. What you're not seeing behind this camera are cereal bowls and cereal on the table and pencils and paper towels and all kinds of things.
You're not allowed to show them.
We're not, yeah, you heard the voice. You're not allowed to show them that, right? And so we fall into the trap of comparison, even though we don't even know what we're comparing. And we also grow into a cynical heart where we don't know how to celebrate the people that God's put in our lives, even people that are in a distance, to celebrate the victories and successes, regardless of whether you are experiencing it or not. That's what God calls us to. That's what great leaders do. Guys, let's do it. Let's grow in faithfulness today. Let's pray to have a heart before the Lord that celebrates, that is cheering others on. Amen. Let's be great leaders. Let's be great men and women following after God, and let's do the right thing. Stay safe, be healthy, and I'll see you right here tomorrow morning, 7:30.